All right, we're recording. This is a Bathurst track guide for an AM driver.
Or anyone who doesn't know the track that well.
There you go. All right, so coming up to turn one. Turn one is very important because you have a very long straightaway. So you need to be sure that you get a good exit. You want to square off the corner and get on the throttle as early as possible. And so just going back, the braking point here is going to be a little after the 100-meter board, around 75 meters. And you want to stay as far to the right as possible. Don't want to trail brake too much into this corner because you want to be getting on the throttle super early, as early as possible. You really don't want to touch the inside curb. That will cause your car to lose traction, and it'll cause you to get a worse exit. So, and feel free to use the runoff apron on the right. So, Peter, anything else to add to that?
No, not really. You just want to make sure you get on the power right around the apex of the corner and power out, because any speed you lose is just going to be hemorrhaging time down the straight.
Yep. So here we're going to brake right around 75 meters, get most of the braking done before you turn, and then right at the apex you want to slam back on the throttle, and you want to go out as wide as possible, carry as much speed as you can. And then you have this long straight. You can see the beautiful scenery of Bathurst. All right, so this corner up here, it looks scary, but it's not as scary as you think. This corner is banked, so the car will have more grip than you think it does. And so your braking point for here is going to be this little concrete patch on the left over here. So you can brake pretty much right as you're getting to that concrete patch. And you're going to want to hit that and then shift down. And you need to trust the car here. Like I said, the corner is cambered. You're also going uphill. The car will hold. It'll grip up and it'll pull itself in. So you just want to trust the arrow and the grip. And you want to try not to get on this inside curb. That will break you loose. And be careful.
Run wide as
Go ahead.
you can run wide as far as you want on that left side. Just don't hit the wall.
Yes. Do not hit the wall. So just watch it in slow
Classic
motion.
Bathurst moment.
Yep.
Don't hit the wall.
So, yep, right as you hit that, shift down twice, let off the brake, your car will start tilting in, and just get on throttle early. Wrong button. All right, so here, this is just a little kink in the road, but you're going to have a hard left corner after this. So the best way to do this before you're 100% familiar with the track is you want to start lifting a little bit before you hit this corner. So watch the inputs over on the right side and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we'll go ahead and do slow motion from the beginning. So you just want to start lifting off a little bit, let your car get turned in, and then right when you get through the apex, you want to get on the brakes to get slowed down for this corner. Again, you're going uphill here, so your car is going to want to slow down and it's going to grip up. So we'll watch it again in full speed.
Nice and close to the wall. Carry a lot of speed from the outside in. It's the best way to take that corner.
Yep. And right here, as you're cresting the hill, there is a bump right here. And it will cause you to lose traction. It doesn't hurt to lift just a hair as you're going over here. And also try not to get on this curb on the inside wall right here. That will kick you loose as well. So, yeah, just be careful on that. And for this corner, you're going to want to open up the corner as much as possible. You're going to want to get really close over here. And you're going to want to turn in earlier than you think. And and you can lift going through there. You don't need to hit the brakes, but you can just do a light lift.
Light lift, and try not to touch the curbs on either side. If you touch the curb
Yes.
on the inside, the car will break loose and send you to the left. And if you touch the curb on the exit, it will break you loose and send you the other way into the outside wall.
Yep. Some cars will take the exit curb okay, but it's generally best to just not chance it, especially on a track where slightly breaking loose will send you into a wall. All right, so this corner, this is just a full throttle corner, but you're going to have another corner up here where you need a lift. So just you want to start positioning your car. You want to get in here, and then you want to get back over to the right side of the track to prepare for the next corner. Into here, get close to the wall, and you can do a lift, maybe like half throttle through that corner. And then here, you're going to do the same thing, about half throttle, and you just carry through. So this is one of the more challenging sections on the track because if you're carrying too much speed, you're going to go slamming into the wall on the right. And you also don't want to cut it too close. This curb right here will kill you. Do not touch this curb. You will die. So yeah, just do about half throttle and line it up correctly, and you should pull right through. And same thing with this one. Try not to touch this inside curb right here. This outside curb is not quite as scary, but I do not recommend getting on it because it can toss your car into the sand or into the wall. So
it will toss you if you get too high up on it. But
yep.
if you need it, it's usable.
Yep. So this is probably the scariest part of the track and the most fun part of the track if you do it correctly. So there's no braking marker here, so you're gonna have to kind of learn it by feel. If the track is rubbered up, you can kind of see where to start stopping based on the rubber on the track. So as you start approaching the sign, there's gonna be a steep downhill, and we'll just go ahead and go in slow motion. So, see this J car over here on the side? I actually counted this. You really want to be looking ahead of you, but if you absolutely need a reference, at about the second J car thing right here, that's when you want to hit your brakes. But really, I recommend just getting a feel for it because you don't really want to be looking on the right side of the track on this. You need to be looking in front of you.
Essentially, you just want to make sure you're braking before you crest the hill, because if you crest the hill while you're on the brakes, you'll lock the tires and more than likely throw yourself into the wall on the right.
Yep. And as you crest the hill, there's also a bump here. There's a really scary bump, and if you're on the brakes while you hit that bump, you're going to go flying. So you'll see it. We'll do it full speed to start. All right, so just going back to this. So you're going to hit the brakes and downshift. So brake, downshift, and then as you cross this, now you're going to hit the brakes again, downshift, just slightly go over this curb, brake, downshift again, and then you're going to carry second gear through here. And then you're going to get on throttle. Let's just go one more time. There's a rhythm here, and once you get it right, it's very satisfying.
Just like any other track, there's a rhythm to it.
This is a flat out corner. So this section is pretty tricky too. So you're going to go to the right here, and then you're going to go to the left, and that takes you to the long straightaway going down the hill. So there are several ways to get through this, but what I would recommend is you're going to get here, and as soon as you start approaching this corner, you're going to want to tap your brakes and start slowing down. So you're going to hit the brakes, and then you're going to coast a bit, and then once you straighten the car back out, you're going to want to hit the brakes again. So tap, coast, and then hit the brakes again and prepare to go downhill.
You want to make sure you don't cut that braking too late, or you will just completely lock up and slide out of the corner super wide.
Yes. So because there's some bumps on the road here, and you can see the car kind of jumping around. But if you try to brake too late, you're not gonna be able to get a wide enough entry into this corner to get a good exit onto the straight. So you want to keep it over here on the right side of the track so you can full throttle and get out onto the straight.
Yep. So you can turn in early and get out nice and tight. Have the right run. Another long straight. Just Bathurst things.
All right, so here your braking point is going to be somewhere in between the 150 and 100. It's going to be kind of dependent on what your brake bias is and what car you're in. So a good starting point would be to just right as you're passing the 150 board, just go ahead and get on the brakes and then just push it a little farther until you figure out what the optimal
Exactly.
braking point
Yup.
is for your car. So for this car, I'm braking at about 125. And then, yeah, we'll see. Yep. And you don't want to hit the inside curb there. You can just barely kiss that inside curb. And not too hard a corner once you get stopped in the right spot.
Kind of an odd corner because the camber of the road's kind of odd and uphill, but as long as you slow yourself down early enough, you'll have no problem getting through it.
Yep. And so here, you're going to want to brake right at this 100 meter board. So right as you're passing this, you want to hop on the brakes. And you want to avoid this curb here. It will cause you to lose traction.
You'll spin.
And that is a lap at Bathurst.
One lap at Bathurst.
Yep. So we'll play it again from beginning to end so you can just see what a full lap looks like uninterrupted. Right, so that lap was roughly a 204.5, and that's a pretty safe lap with lots of lifting over the top of the mountain. So I'm going to play another lap, which was me pushing, and that is going to be about a 202.5. So just kind of pay attention to throttle inputs, and you'll see that there's, when you're pushing, you can really go through the top of the mountain without lifting. So we'll just play that so you can see. that's Bathurst. And when you're practicing, don't get discouraged if you crash because we have all crashed here countless times.
You will crash once and you will crash again and again and again and again. But it's just a part of the track. It's just a part of learning it. And over time, slowly, even if you start out kind of slow through the mountain, it's better to start slow and to slowly build up pace and push a little harder each time rather than just try and send it every time and continuously crash. So it's just a learning experience, really.
Yep. All right. Well, good luck and
Hope,
ask your pro driver for help if you need help.
yeah, hope this helps.